Welcome to the Soul Revival Podcast, where we have deep and meaningful conversations exploring modalities, tools, and healing, guiding you back to your most expansive soul self.
Welcome back to another episode of the Soul Revival Podcast. Today's conversation is such a powerful one. We are diving into energy, expansion, and what it truly means to step into your next level self. We are joined by a very special guest, Kema, who brings such a unique perspective. She has this beautiful way of helping you not just understand your power, but actually embody it in your life. This episode is really going to open your mind, your heart, and your awareness to what's possible when you start listening to your soul on a deeper level. Kema, we are so excited to have you on here today. Can you start by telling everyone a little bit about yourself and the work that you do?
Yes, thank you, Autumn and Lindsay. I'm so happy to be here. And obviously, Soul Revival just fits right in with my vibe and my mission. And it's been a long journey as always. It's a life journey whenever we have some dharma to fulfill. And for me, from a young age, I always felt deeply attuned to the spirit realm and deeply attuned to that frequency of maybe what other people weren't listening to. But I could tell that there was just always more to life. I was so interested in the occult and just, yeah, like what magic lies beyond what we can see and what we know. And before I could put language to it, I grew up part-time out in the jungle in Maui, Hawaii. And that land was the most transformative place in the world. It was where I learned really the language of spirit, the language of my soul. And at that point, I was kind of outsourcing it. Like I thought I could only get it from this one place on earth, this one piece of land where spirit could talk and I trusted everything and nothing was good or bad. Everything was just for me. Long story short, I ended up losing that house. My parents sold it. And then I went on to study Hawaiian healing, where all of the words and all of the feelings that I had were finally clear. Like there was an entire language behind it. And it was so powerful for me feeling like this little, what they call here, like haole girl, little like white girl in the Hawaiian jungle. Finally, like I had the language. I was like, oh, this is a real thing. And these are real experiences. And I was receiving downloads. And the message I got from spirit and my soul and myself was bring this home, come home. Like this place you thought was home, it's within you. How can you proliferate that in your life, most importantly? But then, of course, I felt called to teach and help others do the exact same. That's overall my work in the world now. And I live on Maui now. I did come home quite literally, but I first had to come home to myself. There were lots of initiations before I could come back to this island. It's really powerful. Yeah.
That's absolutely beautiful. I had chills when you were speaking about coming home to yourself and just listening to the spirits of the universe to align you on your path. We also like to start the podcast with a question. What aligns you most to your soul self? I think you kind of answered it, but
Yeah, what aligns me most?
Mhm.
Well, I love that question because I do believe it's all about alignment. And I think that following your joy brings you straight to your soul self. I think joy is they are the morsels that just bring us home. And it's that simple and beautiful that we're meant to be attracted and have the desires to the things that light us up and expand us in our bodies. We can quite literally feel this like expansive light feeling when we are meant to go in that direction. And you just keep going. That brings you straight home to soul and self.
You know, that's exact. My spirit team has been bringing this message up so much lately that joy is the journey. There is no void when you are living the journey in joy because it's just going to lead you to the next step and the next step. So I love that you said that.
And also, I feel like you were using your intuition because the first question that I have to ask is about this very topic. But before I ask it, I just want to say I love the fact that this episode, I think, in so many ways is gonna be about like returning to ancient wisdoms. And I feel like as much as in like the modern world in our 3D space, we are constantly trying to innovate, change, modernize, materialize things that at the end of the day, these truths were known by cultures for thousands of years, and returning back to that and the essence of that is what really ends up connecting us the most to our soul self.
Yes, thank you for saying this. I think we're all going through this big awakening around that too. It's so amazing how there's these counter trends with technology going so far, but then technology is also awakening us. It's bringing a
Yes.
lot of, right? And
Yeah.
I really believe, actually, I studied this in college, that the counter trend to wellness and spirituality and this whole rise that was happening was technology. The counter trend was wellness and spirituality. So, like, the further from self we get with the tech world, the deeper we crave it. And they're merging us together in the end. They work together.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole other tangent, but
Yeah,
it's
it
happening on
definitely
a
is like
collective.
all around like source and oneness energy with AI. Like that's a
Yeah,
whole big
that's
topic.
a whole thing.
Yeah.
But the ancient wisdom is coming through now more than ever, just a remembrance.
Yeah. And that, yeah. And I think like that's exactly, and taking back to like truths and at the core of that, I feel like oneness and joy are really, work the same. They're like very much in tandem with each other. They're really almost the same thing. Um, Can you talk to us a little bit about, I love that joy is central to your journey and you reference it on your website as your compass. Can you talk to us a little bit about what methodologies you use and tap into to help your clients return back to joy and to find that again? Because I feel like so much of our culture now, we get inundated with like the next best thing that we have to buy or have to own. So how do you like get that noise out of the way and then help people return to that truth that taps them back into their true joy?
Mm. So, my personal journey with joy was actually quite interesting. And I do think I'm getting a message that I'm speaking to more people than I think. And this is always feels like an edgy subject for me. But I grew up with a lot of privilege, and I actually had an immense amount of shame for having that privilege and having joy. Because, of course, it's always, well, if you have this, then of course it's easy for you to have joy. And that's not the truth at all. And the truth is, all of us have privilege in ways other people don't. And we could all use that against each other. Oh, well, you have, a place to live. Well, you have food on the table. Oh, you have a partner. Oh, you have, a friend, a job you like. Whatever the thing is, there's always going to be something. Well, then you should be happy. And I shoulded all over myself and was shoulded. I felt so much growing up that I had a really confusing relationship with joy. I actually went through like such an emo phase because, you like gotta. And it was a reclamation for me to finally be like, I'm actively choosing my joy. And I'm unapologetic about being in my joy now. And it was years of like suffering and losing myself. And actually, when I had this mindset that I couldn't have joy, which is a lot of people's mindset, actually, I put other people in front of me and I just kept reperpetuating harm and loss of joy. So we have to really look at our fundamental beliefs around joy. Do you allow yourself to have joy and pleasure? Do you think it needs to be earned? Do you think that you're, too privileged to have joy? Do you think that you need XYZ to have it? Whatever it is, like I always implore people to look at those foundational beliefs. So joy is, and then write down the first things that come to mind. That's a great way to start and see what you're holding on to and then start to decondition those things. I love tapping for that, EFT, like going through the motions of like, even though I feel like I'm not allowed to have joy, even though I'm struggling, suffering, even though I have grief, even though, I still choose to experience joy. It's my birthright. And
That's
uh
exactly what came to my mind when you said the dot, dot, dot. It's my birthright.
that was a good one. This is a good one. And that's what I want people to know and believe because it is. And it's the natural state of our soul. Our soul came here with so much joy to experience being in a body and being a human and exploring and experimenting and whatever comes, whatever your journey is. But I would say that first, and also the inner child stuff. And it doesn't have to be all like fluffy inner child, floofy therapy, whatever. It's just Who were you as a kid? What was fun? Did you like climbing trees? Did you like ghost hunting? Did you like collecting rocks? Like, start to let those little things come back into your life and just play with that. Just it's play.
Mhm. I love that you tied it back to really almost like a scarcity and fear-based mindset. And I feel like so much what you just mentioned are similar to blocks that people can have around abundance when we think about traditional wealth. But when we look at true wealth, joy is the true wealth. Joy and being of love and light, I feel like is the true wealth. And so I love that you just made that connection back because I feel like often people don't necessarily put those things together. And it makes total sense that we could create similar blocks around our deservingness of joy that we would around, wealth and abundance, however we see it taking form.
Yes, any and all of it. And sometimes they're kind of separate and sometimes they're all lumped. But once you pull that string of
Yeah.
what's my belief here or am I allowing this, it does really start to unravel the other areas too. They are all interconnected. Yeah. So I think it's about really just allowing and reclaiming is such a word I use. Reclaim your joy. Reclaim it. It's yours to have. And it feels rebellious. It like makes me still sometimes it makes me sweat to show up in so much joy when I know there's suffering in the world and there always has been and there always will be. So what proliferates more suffering? Suffering begets more suffering. So can we
Yes.
be the vibration we want to see in the world? And I choose that actively, avidly, with discipline, my joy every single day.
We want to express deep gratitude for everybody who sponsors the podcast. It really, really matters. It allows us to invest our time, effort, and energy in bringing you the most relevant spiritual content. So if you're feeling called, please subscribe, click like, leave a review, or sponsor the podcast. We very, very much appreciate you.
I absolutely love that. I have a 1-year-old at home right now, and he just is a ball of joy. Everything he does, he's so excited about. He puts love in it. Like, sometimes he'll get angry, but for the most part, if he's just in alignment doing his thing, everything is so fun and exciting. And I think that joy also activates the imagination again. What if the world is so much bigger than how we viewed it when we were conditioned? And I think that it's so important to reconnect with the inner child and to live the life that is exploring and exciting and creative. And, why can't you have your desires and your dreams? Why can't you jump on the bed at 30 years old and have fun and feel that excitement in your heart? You can. And I do. I definitely do. I keep it alive.
Yes, and you said it about the world being bigger. It's so true that because joy is an expansive frequency and you can feel that, which is what I just said. I use body, and that tuning into my body. My body is my thermostat is really my whole premise of working in my own life and helping others find the same is really where do you expand, where do you contract? And it will be different from person to person. Like and that guides you to the places, the people, the jobs, the food you're eating, how you play, everything. So, and joy is expansive. So exactly, once you are in that expansive vibration, everything becomes more expansive. It feels like infinite opportunity and potential because we're living in that vibration quite literally in our bodies.
I
So,
had questions written out, but I'm going to go off those. I'm not going to use those questions. I have a question for you. What is the most magical thing that has happened in your life? Like, what is the craziest thing that you've manifested or just the most biggest miracle in your life? I feel like that's the direction I need to head with this.
oh, this is a good question. Wow, there's so many magical things because I love the magic, so I feel I see it a lot. Um, but I really do think one of the most magical things was coming back to Hawaii. And that's really where my whole mission statement in the world changed. I used to do a lot of corporate wellness and I loved corporate. I actually loved doing corporate wellness, hot take. But what happened was I put myself out of business because I was helping people reconnect with their souls without saying it. I was really just corporate about it. Breathe, what's coming up, inhale, exhale, connect, really get deep, dropping them into these states where, they're free journaling, they're automatic writing now. Suddenly they're asking themselves questions they've never asked and they realize, whoa, what am I doing? And yeah, I basically put myself out of business, which was not exciting at the time, but ultimately really exciting. And now I realize that's my mission is I do want people to reconnect with their souls. I love when people have the big awakening breakthrough. I need to get the F out of this life, house, partnership, whatever. For me, that was, I lost myself so deeply in like 2023. I was in this relationship and I chose that relationship. I was at the precipice of like moving home to Hawaii, having everything, the exciting life I've always dreamed of. I felt like ready. And then I met this partner who had a lot of old, I felt like familiar patterns. And I had this moment of like, what do I do? What do I do? Chose the old familiar patterns, ends up in this crazy codependent, really gnarly relationship where I just gave up everything I was. And then, of course, because I gave up everything I was, I'm like, we're both siphoning this joy from one another, which is so unsustainable. And my body reacted. Everything really that could go wrong went wrong in my body. And we were just, it was just super gnarly. So, anyways, I got so many messages from spirit that were like, you need to leave. The first one being a hawk flew full speed into the back of my head and like knocked me onto the ground. And I was like, this has something to do with something. And the message I got was listen to the divine. And I was like, well, I always listen to the divine. I love the divine. And it was like, no, you're not. And then I started to get songs waking me up in the middle of the night in my head I hadn't listened to in years that were basically like, leave, break away, like come home. And I was resisting and resisting because I was so scared. Like, when spirit calls or your soul awakens you, people think it's like I think we're actually all at the point where we know it's like not super fun, but it's like you got to take a leap of faith at that point because for me, I'm like, how do I know that this is going to be better on the other side? How do I know that leaving my partner and my community and my friends and my life as I know it, my family and moving to this remote island is going to be good? What if it's not? And then what? But I felt like I had no choice. Spirit was loud. I got brave enough. I ended the relationship. I made the move. I knew no one. And my health literally like overnight improved. My hair was falling out in swaths. It just stopped. I had anemia that like couldn't be resolved. It just stopped. I was good again. I was immediately met all of my community like within 2 weeks. These are my best friends in the world. I just walked into a dance class and I went surfing because those are the two things I wanted to do. I followed my joy, ended up with my community, ended up with my people. Health improved, business improved, got clear on my mission. And if I just could tell you all of the little micro serendipities, there were a billion moments where it was like, I am supported, I am guided, spirit is with me, from animal omens to people to places. It felt like I was in, I don't know, like I was on a trip like the whole time. Like whatever I spoke would just appear. And I believe that that's what happens when we follow our souls. I believe that that's what happens when we get brave enough to listen because alignment is so magnetic. Alignment pulls everything you are to you. So I just had to get out of my own way. And that is one of the main things I preach now is just listen, be brave. I know it seems scary, but it's got you. You've got you.
Yeah. And it's really just the only reason it seems scary is because we're indoctrinated with the matrix. It's really not scary. It's just like releasing the attachment to all the things that we think are important and none of them are important at all.
Exactly. Exactly. Which is again back of that like remembering of ancient wisdom before all this.
Yeah. Talk to me. So I'm trained in somatics and I find it like very interesting. You were referencing a lot of listening to your body. Can you share some different examples with us of how you've obviously you just told a big story with the magic, but of how you've honored your body and maybe even just how you've seen clients of yours honor their body and, win on the other side of it, like be so in such release and joy energy as a result of it.
Oh my gosh, yes. And today, for perfect timing, I have a kit that just launched called Listen to Your Body Return. And it's 24 days of meditations and journaling prompts to just reconnect with your body. Because for me, that was first. And I love that you do the somatics. Ugh, because that is so crucial. That one of my teachers here in Hawaii, his name is Keone Hanalei, he always says, we have to materialize to spiritualize. You cannot be just straight to the, and we've seen that happen. Like people just try to go straight to spirit, like this disembodied, floaty, like not in the, that isn't going to be sustainable because we have a body, and the body, again, it's our thermostat. So when I watch my clients actually start to come back into their bodies, it's the moment that things shift. It's the moment that they can actually feel and hear the messages and they become relatable. That's also huge because, I mean, look, philosophy, spirituality, all these things, it can be so heady and disembodied, quite literally, until we bring it in. How does it feel? No, really, like tune into this. Does it make you contract? Does it make you feel expansive? Can you like emote and move things out of the way? Because the body is just made for that. I'm sure you use this one all the time, but I love the one about how animals, like they'll shake trauma every time something happens, they shake it and reset. And we've just like totally lost the art of being in our this vessel and how to use it and work with it. And that becomes the clearest conduit for spirit and all of the things that are truly meant for you. So it's been transformative for me. I was so disconnected for so long too. So I know how it feels to be lost. I had eating disorders. I like really quite literally like hated my body. And it took years of just starting to reconcile, like connect, listen, positive affirmations. I really drilled them in, starting to just like tune into what sounded good. I remember making a list of healthy foods that I loved, which is like a funny, but that was like life changing because it wasn't like I need to fit this certain thing anymore. I was like, you do love eating nourishing foods. You do love eating fresh fruit. You do love, even if it's not that, like you can trust your body. So that's why I created the program I have now. Step one, body. Get back in it, you know?
Yeah, I can't wait to check that out. So just a little bit about me. Like I was on a deep grief journey that took me down this path, like in hyper speed. Definitely always connected my whole life, as a child and stuff, knew I could call on the other side. But the thing that called to me the most early in my grief journey, which was really just like about survival, was movement and being in nature and moving. And literally, like you just described, like my body calling me to help me move through what I was feeling, the heartbreak. And that has been central to like all my practice is movement. So I love that you just mentioned that and I think the thing that people don't realize too is that the more disconnected you are, the more disconnected you are. And what I mean by that is we can feel the same level of fear for something that's legitimately fearful, as well as something that really isn't to be feared at all. And if just because we are so in this like matrix, we don't know how to separate out the two. And just by starting to do this work, not even deep diving, just starting to do this work, you start to segregate that and understand, listening to the cues, the true cues from your body, not the false ones that are being put on us from the outside.
Exactly. Exactly. And I remember for years not understanding what listen to your body meant and being really frustrated by that. And I say it all the time now. And I really do try to give people this one tangible piece, which I've already said like 20 times, but expansion and contraction. And you can use it with the simplest things like, do I like, put something in front of you, like the color, expansion or contraction? Do I want that like on my wall, on my body? Notice and then use it for important things. It's just that is so crucial that we have that. And once you get that, it becomes much easier to trust the body and understand like, okay, I know like sí or no. Like, much easier, good basic. And then you would literally live your life right there based off of that. I mean, you really can.
Yeah, it's like what Autumn and I call the hell yes energy.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And You know, a lot of people that aren't living in their body, you can tell because they're physically sick. They're physically ill. They're wondering why they have all this dis-ease happening. And it's because they're not in their own channel. They're not in their own vehicle. And it's such a beautiful place to be. I think, you know, breath work too, for anyone listening, breath work to start. I always like to breathe, and then I like to take a drink of water before I feel into the yes or no. That was in the beginning. Now I, you know, got it like that. But in the beginning, just to feel that water flowing through you naturally from head to toe before you get your answers, it's a great skill to start learning or enhancing what is already yours.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great tip. I've never heard someone say that, but it makes sense because you know, the breath and then feel the water move through you. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Love.
Yes. Yes. Awesome.
Love.
Oh my goodness. Well, I really, really enjoyed this conversation today. I think it was beautiful. Your energy is beautiful. The whole time I've been smiling. It's just such a joy to be in your frequency. Where can people find you? Where can they find the 21, did you say 21-day challenge? 24-day challenge.
Added a couple in. Yes. Thank you guys so much. First of all, absolutely touche. Beautiful energy. And the work you're doing is like, yes, we need it. We need this message. So, thank you. And for people who want to keep up, my Instagram, Kema, Kama, Hagar, Hagar, Kema Hagar, and then my website, kemahagar.com. And then, yes, I just launched this kit today. So amazing timing, which is listen to your body, 24 days, meditations, journaling prompts. It's like less than 15 minutes a day. And I email them to you. It's just you sign up for it and you basically just get this time to rewire the brain into being comfortable in the body, being connected to the body, listening to it, and over time, just trusting it. And you could do this every day for more than 24 days. Like you get the content for life. But I really just wanted people to start to have that space.
Kema, thank you so much. We absolutely loved this conversation and having you on the Soul Revival podcast.
Thank you. Me too, you guys.
If you loved today's episode, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. Follow our podcast. We release a new episode each and every week, and join us on Facebook inside the Soul Revival community. Come be a part of the magic. We'll see you there.